Welcome back to the channel. I know it won't have felt like too long for you guys, but for me it has been probably a month or so since I've been on the beach in Yorkshire. Got fossil hunting down in the Cotswolds in the middle, but adventures with family and friends throughout the summer have kept me away. And so today I am back out at my favourite place. For those who don't know, this is Ravenscar. It is a beautiful location. As you can see, the sun just peeking through a bit of haze in the top left of your screen. And we are here because it produces a fantastic array of fossils, including some very rare species only found here for the Yorkshire coast at least. I'm also here to pick up quite a few bits and pieces that I might be able to prep over the coming month or two. And the reason for that is my wife is very pregnant and going to give birth probably within the next couple of weeks. And so I won't be out on the coast for a little bit of time. And so I'll try and do some prep videos to keep you guys entertained in the middle of this. Almost into the first corner, not a lot to show for it. But that first corner has obviously been very active, looking at the amount of new rocks that are down in the back there. But I'd just like to do the standard notification. Ravenscar beds are protected. Things that are in loose blocks, so this is a big loose block that you might see here. You could dig that out if you so wanted. It's a very squished hildy, not worth it though. However, things that are in the bedrock, like this deck, even though it's not worth digging out, same as that one, you could not if you wanted to. They're all protected by law. It's a triple SI, so please leave them in the bed. Plenty of stuff here normally that you don't need to be trying to dig into the bedrock or even most of these shale blocks. And if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know what that is. If not, you might just see that there's like a ridge right on the edge of the break, a little valley, and then the rest of the ammonite sticking out, so that would probably be a hildy. And if we look at where I've just tapped the edge just to double check, it is indeed a fairly nice little hildy, that actually. So we'll take that as is. Great. A bit that someone else has split either recently or a bit further ago, a bit of Phylloceras, and you can tell because it's got that sort of really wavy texture to it. That would have been quite a big ammonite though. I would love one. Still don't have one in my collection, but we'll keep looking. Hopefully in the winter we'll get one. Another little tiny hildy. Just with the cap here to come off, but should be alright. Might have just made the trip worthwhile already, and you'll see why here. You can just about see all the way across. There's a fairly fat, like my thumb width, ammonite. I think with the ribbing it's not a Paranoceras, but it could be. So it's either a cat or possibly a big Porpoceras. So quite pleased with that already. Great stuff.
Still some tidying to do, but quite a nice little Porpoceras that.
Had a beautiful big nodule, and I just saw the bottom edge of an ammonite sticking out. Exposed a bit more. It's none of the obvious ones from this area. Could be an Ovitiscerus. If it is, it's come a long way. Sadly, the middle would be down here somewhere. Might just break it down a bit further, see if there's anything else in it, but that's a weird one. A shame, because that would have been probably very rare. Just gave this very round nodule a tap, and yeah, something in it, and that looks quite chunky, so I'll take that home as is. I'm hopeful that will all be there. But you can see some of these have been knocking around in a while. That's gone very green on that side, so it's just been turned over by that last tide. Scampering between the two bays, so thought I'd give you guys a chance to spot the fossil and also show why it's worth looking as you go. Do you see it? A little beach prep tilde. It's in reasonable shape too. A bit broken on that side, but yeah, nice. Something I don't talk about finding at Ravenscar, but probably should, is there are marine reptiles in and amongst this stuff. And here, it's a little vertebra. Probably a little ichthyosaur vert looking at it. So this would be the bottom, and then it comes up to the top. Obviously, it needs some prep just to get all of the shale off the outside of it, but I'd say that's a pretty good find. Nice. A really, really pretty little bivalve there on the side of that rock. Won't be collecting it, but nice to show. A couple of very ugly ammonites from Matrix that I don't recognise. I made the terrible mistake of tapping it, but when I did, I could see it inside instantly. It's definitely an ammonite, not just a discoloration on it. I think these come from a bit higher up. Same on this one. I won't tap that one either. There's a chance that these might be quite rare. So into the bag they go. Yeah, big old chunk of wood in this nodule, quite nice, but gonna leave it there. Came looking for a Hogia. I have suspicions this might be one here. I also have suspicions it's very, very flat, and I'll put a chisel in it or around it and just see if we can expose it, just to double check if it's a Hogia or possibly a Gramo. But looking at this side, it's flattened all the way down. But be good just to be able to show it off. It popped on the other side than what I was expecting, but I think it is a hog, and just as squishy as I expected, sadly. So not even worth putting in the bag. Another disappointment. The hunt continues. A big, although only partial Gramo. Might take it, I think. There'll be a good smaller one in the middle of that. So they sometimes actually display quite nicely, like that. Lovely little Gramo that's just popped up. Really pretty little thing. This one had a loose shell block. There's obviously one big Gramo here, negative bit there. I tried to hit it and break it down a bit more, but it's packed again, so there's another one here, another one in there. So as much as I wanted to make this smaller to take it home, big one is what it's going to have to be. Yeah, it was just a little bit of exposed keel there, and so thought I'd tap it just to double check what it probably was, and it popped open a treat. So that's a little pseudo-Lioceros. Sadly it's a little broken, you might see up here by my index finger. There's some more of it, so I'll probably take both bits, stick it back together and see if I can get some of that on that top side. I'll back onto this to complete this little bit here. Not what I came down here for, and definitely surprising. It's my second vertebra for the day. This one looks like it might actually be from quite a bit higher up, so that could be quite an interestingly rare one, because that almost looks like the sandy matrix that it's in rather than the grey hard limestoney stuff. So that could be a really high up ichthyosaur vert. Nice. Scooted back into the first bay, as you can just about see, and just having a bit of an explore down right on the front as the tide is still a long way out. And another nice piece of Phyloceras. So these are the ones that have the wavy structure to them, as you see on this. It kind of goes in and out, but when they're complete they're not necessarily wavy. So this is what the smooth shell looks like on this side. Obviously the center is here, or would have been there, and would have been quite a nice size ammonite, but alas, no luck. Just picked up a manky ammonite nodule, so I thought, oh, let's give it a tap, and it's one of those big fat Perinoceras, and you can see the spines preserved on the top here. Sadly where it's popped off, most of them have gone and exploded out, which is a bit of a shame, because that would have been quite nice. Sadly another big old lump of Phyloceras that is not complete. It's just teasing me here. Found lots of bits of them. You can see how long this has been knocking around. Shame. So just about to go back up the cliff, but taking a last break, having just done the last little bay fossil hunting. Not much today actually in it, but left a girl and her dad, a couple of the little hildies from further along, so they could at least have something to take home, because they hadn't been having much luck. Been a pretty good day. No Hogia, complete Hogias at least, but a couple of verts, which is quite a big surprise for Ravenscar. I can't complain too much at that. And a few other bits and pieces, and some that I'm not quite sure what they are. So we'll find out when I get back and start giving them prep over the next couple of days, weeks, months, as the case may be. Thanks again everyone for watching, and thanks for your support on the channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Comments on what you liked always help, and if you're not yet subscribed, please do give us a subscribe. We're getting pretty close to the 1,000th sub mark, and that would be a big deal for me. So thank you very much, and catch you in the next one.